Going across the water once again for an international premium live event brought to us by WWE as we head towards Scotland, where Drew McIntyre, Piper Niven, Isla Dawn, and Alba Fyre look to achieve broken dreams, make them come true with golden intentions. We will see a man's will broke because they will have to say, I quit. And are we finally going to see Otis be his own man and make sure that Chad Gable does not win the Intercontinental Championship? This and so much more to be discussed as we come together to simply predict Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Let's freaking go. Welcome to the discussion, folks. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Simply Predicting here, courtesy of Castle Studios, the Cement brand. You know what this is, for I am the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of the Jam Man, forever great for professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, is my wonderful friends in the Simply Predicting community, my color analyst in all things WWE, and here's an XT. We, of course, have one of the Dominguez's, and, of course, the man that predicts everything. You can't see him right now. His name's not John Cena, but it's Christopher Rotz. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in, whether live or on demand. Appreciate all you. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, donate to Dictate at Castle Studios for I'm Not Monetary. Super chat. It is as simple as that. And shout out to NoDQ. Stay tuned for their predictions panel this Thursday. The former go live following theirs, because I'm sure Sheriff Riff will try and make this thing more interesting with some unique tiebreakers. So stay tuned for more on that as we give you our first take and our initial thoughts into this premium live event. Before I get into things, let's see how everyone's doing and get our initial thoughts and expectations. JJ, it's good to see you once again. This is going to be a unique first time, once again, WWE going international, exploring new markets as we head towards Scotland. How you feeling, my friend? How you feeling about this Saturday's PLE?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's great that they've got 3 different, matches with Scottish representation. As you pointed out, we got Piper Niven challenging for the women's title, Drew McIntyre challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre challenging for the women's tag title. Kudos to Alba Fyre for everything that she's been dealing with. For those at home that don't know, she had her mother pass away less than a month ago, got hit by a car in Florida, pronounced dead at the scene. So the fact that she threw herself into her work and has been just kicking ass with Isla in this storyline on her way to her homecoming here, I know a lot of people that would have taken the time off and grieved and wouldn't be on television right now. Kudos to her for handling this with everything she's been going through.
Respect.
But yeah, all in all, I'd say I'm looking forward to this. Probably about an 8 out of 10. Some of this looks like it's way too predictable. Other of it, because of the hometown dynamic, could we see a swerve pulled here?
Guess we'll find out soon enough. And Scotland's known to have its own tales of folklore and legend. Maybe one of these individuals becomes a legend this Saturday. We'll see. Chris, good to see you once again, as you are the simple friend that predicts everything that I know and out of wrestling. Always appreciate your spirit. How are you feeling about this Saturday's PLE? And also, I know you got a lot ahead for you this weekend, including.
Hey, everybody. I am doing good. I'm looking forward to on Clash at the Castle on Saturday. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It should be a good show.
Good.
The match I'm looking forward to the most here is definitely the World Heavyweight title match with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. That match is going to be a banger after banger after banger.
See what he did.
That's what I got to say is good luck to everybody that is competing in the WWE Prediction League. And always tell me when I'm telling lies.
He might be trying to change the culture this Saturday. We'll see. That being said, thank you, Chris. Emmanuel, good to see you. Always appreciate the Dominguez's, whether I have both or one of them, despite the fact I think the wheel is biased in their favor, and that's a whole different conversation. But hello, Emmanuel, and shout out to Arlene. How are you feeling about this Saturday's PLE?
Pretty good. I mean, like, this should be interesting how they could book some of the decisions, especially for the world title. Um, women titles is also intriguing because of the rumor of Bianca Belair might be pregnant, and maybe this is a way to not make them lose without getting pinned type of situation. So, but that's a lot to think about.
Okay, interesting tidbit. I know that there was, a little bit of thoughts through the grapevine, but I wasn't sure how much those might come to light. Again, folks, we are here to, of course, discuss WWE PLEs, and of course, this is predictions, and I host prediction leagues, and of course, your opinions matter too. Like I said, the forum will be live after the panel, hosted by Aaron Riff and NoDQ. Please follow NoDQ.com, and their panel will be this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across NoDQ social media platforms. But here is the leaderboard in case you're all wondering. Shout out to the 80 plus that have participating so far this year, including these fine friends in and out of Team and Galaxy and the community. But also, I saved time, and here's the top 50 of you in the Galaxy to kick things off. So I hope everybody's having a fun time, including my brother, Paul Mead from Another Mother. Shout out to our fellow horsemen in our predictions. Emmanuel and Arlene are doing quite well as their sibling rivalry continues. Ashley, Michael Gonzalez, the endless Michael Wayne, Adrian, Chris, you're up there though, man. You are very close. You're in the top 4. But Dwayne Atkinson, for example, and Arlene, they're also sneaking up behind you. And Emmanuel, right now, Arlene is beating you. And shout out to SC. I hope everything went well with her interview. And of course, the latest panelist as of late on NoDQ predictions from the UK, Greg. He's also doing fairly well too. I might have to make him part of the team with how much he participates. Mad respect. Speaking of the team, JJ, here's you and I come in. And so far, it is the Rocket, David Diaz, who's leading. But I am right behind him. So it's still anybody's race across both these leagues. Will the Galaxy surpass the team? And who will own WPLE League 2024 this year? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it's still anybody's game at this point. JJ, though, come on, man. Time to make a comeback, bro.
Hey, I just want to pass TJS.
That's an achievement in itself, right? Well, at least you're being the young boy. Shout out to the Cleveland combatant, Josh Mansfield.
Hey, if you put me where kayfabe Candy Ass is, I jump up 2 spots there.
Note to self.
Because we're all tied.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe. Well, again, Excel did that, but I think
last I checked, J comes before K. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Excel, get your shit together. All right. Well, that being said, that's some fun little talk. That's a fun little recap on the leagues. And again, I'll have the NXT league updated here shortly too. I'll probably present that, of course, when we next time cover NXT with Heatwave. And of course, the first in predicting of 2 this week, as we'll be back, which is predicting 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for TNA Against All Odds. With that being said, we're here to talk about WWE. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So again, folks, this is the first time that WWE brings us a PLE from Scotland. Clash at the Castle. Second Clash at the Castle, of course, after 2 years ago, they went to, what was it? Wales, Cardiff, or some sort of.
Yeah, Cardiff, Wales.
Cardiff, Wales. The geography lesson, Drew McIntyre, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. Of course, for those that are wondering, here's how you can keep up with what they're calling WWE Glasgow Weekend. Of course, they're going to present SmackDown 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they will have a Clash at the Castle kickoff fan event Friday, June 14th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all the social medias. Saturday, those where it truly matters, but this is ridiculous. They will have a 2-hour kickoff show starting 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, but we will go live with ours as Multiverse Media because we're not crazy. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because the show itself actually starts, get this, folks, get your clocks in order, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, streaming on the Peacock. So be sure to follow us for our WWE live watch events, commentary reactions, and alternative discussion. And of course, we have 5 matches to discuss here, and each one of them have title applications. So again, folks, let your predictions be known in the chat. We'll reflect on that. We're going to, of course, go round robin. Each person will lead, and then we'll open it to discussion of how simple this card is and how many people we have. Let's have some fun and get right into it. Because we have 3 matches with homecomers, I figured it was fair that we start and end respectfully with some. And I think we'll start with this because, honestly, this has been brewing since the last International back in Saudi Arabia for King and Queen of the Ring. Because it was SmackDown that Piper Niven made her strength and her intentions known. And maybe this was originally out of respect, but I think that kind of went out the window. It is Bayley defending the WWE Women's Championship against Scotland's own Piper Niven, with who Bayley calls her puppy, Chelsea Green, in her corner. I still say Chelsea Green should be champion, but that's a whole different conversation. So anyway, this match kind of came out of the blue when you think about it, because Piper Niven for the longest time has not been involved in singles championship encounters since last challenging Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble and feuding with Bianca Belair multiple times over the Raw Women's title. But this is a huge opportunity for Piper Niven, the biggest opportunity in her career. While Bayley was trailblazing her way for the black and gold NXT, prior to that, Piper Niven been trailblazing her way across Europe since 2008. I personally have watched some of her work in Pro Wrestling Eve, Stardom, wink, wink, and ICW, when her and Candy Ray, the current Alba Fyre, feuded over the ICW Queen of Insanity Championship. Still one of the damnedest matches I've ever seen. And who buys a fucking pink cheese grater? Anyway, they're psyched. Of course, Bayley is going into her second defense after overcoming Naomi and Tiffany Stratton back at Backlash in France. But we also got to consider the title itself and the stakes that come after this, unfortunately. Whoever wins this has an evil queen waiting on the other side, looking to annihilate them and claim the richest prize on SmackDown. That being said, Chris, we're going to start with you on this one. What's your thoughts regarding this match? And do you think Piper Niven has a chance to dethrone Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship?
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I have to go with Mike or Bayley. I've been a Bayley fan my whole entire life. And personally, Bayley's going to retain. And we all have to think about this. We got Money in the Bank next month from Toronto. So would they do Bayley versus Chelsea Green at Money in the Bank, maybe for the women's championship, or they could put Chelsea Green in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Because I know next week on both Raw and SmackDown, they're going to be starting to have qualifying matches for both men and the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we have to see if Chelsea Green's going to be in that, or they could put her with Bayley for the women's championship up until we get the eventual Bayley versus Queen Nia Jax match at SummerSlam. So I'm going to say Bayley's going to retain, and that's what I just got to say.
Well, fair enough. I'm going to go a little bit different here because it's my show. JJ, yeah, Money in the Bank. Completely forgot about that too, because of course we know the King and Queen will respectively get the championship opportunities at SummerSlam, which is after Money in the Bank, meaning there's an obstacle that could come into play for them at the biggest part of the summer, held right here in my home state of Ohio, in Cleveland. Still debating whether or not I'm going. But again, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green is one of that strange Bethel stories that happened out of nowhere, and arguably one of the most prolific women's tag team champions in recent memory, because they always made those titles known too. But I do think Piper Niven is due for a moment, but with the long-term history with the current queen, it almost feels like a fever dream to think that Piper Niven can beat Bayley here for the title. Wouldn't you agree?
I want Piper to win so bad.
Same.
I said it before, and this is no disrespect to Bayley, but the era of the horsewomen needs to be over. Sasha's moved on. Charlotte's out with injury. Becky's in limbo. All that's holding it down is Bayley. And while, yes, she deserved her moment at Mania, I don't see her being a long-term champion.
Right.
Personally, I would rather see Piper versus Nia as opposed to Bayley versus Nia. And then, no disrespect, we get big meaty women slapping meat.
Yeah.
Instead of big meaty men slapping meat.
And one really
because both women are freaking behemoths, if you will.
Yeah.
And again, no disrespect to the women.
No.
But I see like a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns SummerSlam match between those two. Bayley, I almost feel like if Bayley is the champion, Nia is beating her at SummerSlam. If it's Piper versus Nia, maybe not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think, sadly, like Chris thinks, I think Bayley's going to retain.
That being said, I want to give a shout out to the most graceful voice when it comes to a lyrical glory here at the Motives Media. And of course, your daughter, Natalie. What's her thoughts on this?
She also has Bayley retaining.
All right. Well, your storytelling, though, does lead me to believe, not just in Joe Henry, but maybe that means a babyface wins Money in the Bank for the women this time, and that's how you overthrow an evil queen. It's one of those things right now. The bigger factor here is the queen, and she's not even involved in this PLE. Doesn't mean she won't be here somewhere. Just saying.
You also could potentially have a heel win the briefcase and turn face by cashing it in.
True that. And I think
if Nia becomes champion at SummerSlam, and somebody like a Tiffany Stratton, who although a heel, does get a babyface pop a lot of the times because people are just getting behind her and love her, that cash-in dethroning Nia could be exactly what it takes to turn her full-blown babyface.
Right. And of course, we also know Naomi probably won't be in play here after Piper Niven squashed her, because we saw what happened when last time Piper Niven and Bayley were in tag team matches against these two. But seriously, though, as long as Nia's not champion, with all due respect, she's queen because of her last name. And Lyra, that spot was just impromptu, but that was a messy landing. More ways than one. Just saying. No. Emmanuel, what's your thoughts regarding this match in the future of the WWE Women's Championship? No, we got Money in the Bank next month, and Queen Nia awaits for this title regardless who holds it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a setup for sadly Bayley to win it. I think we are going to be unanimous in this matchup. Piper Niven's going to lose in her home country, which is sad. I mean, you know my feelings about Bayley's run right now as a babyface. I don't dig it. Like the role model, it seems a little bit too forced for me. High-fiving the little kids and everything like that. So,
right.
Yes, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's just me. Like I don't buy Bayley as a sympathetic babyface after all that she's done with damage control and everything like that. So it's one of those things like something she needs a repackaging of some sort that just it needs to change, because this title reign is really lacking, and we're gonna be saying which is the worst title reign, Bayley's or Liv Morgan's eventually. No offense to Liv.
That's easy to answer. That's Liv.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna go there.
No offense to Liv. It's one of those things. Like they need to really boost up those women titles to a higher standards. And
agree,
because ever since Rhea got injured, it's been lacking. Like both SmackDown and Raw. Liv doesn't even have a match in this pay-per-view. What does that tell you about the Raw side? No one's challenging Liv. That was sad about it. Like, how can you say something positive about Liv when no one's going, hey, let me face Liv Morgan? Like, it's just not,
I mean,
because all she's doing is keeping that belt warm until mommy comes back.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Otherwise, they just book Herb or Selena Vega for the kickoff show.
Yeah, that's the main storyline. Just for Judgment Day, but there's no other storyline with Liv right now. So it's kind of in limbo. Like it's like right now, both women titles are lacking flavor. They need more appeal to it. It's just
right.
Maybe we have a change to SummerSlam, but I hope SummerSlam comes more sooner because it really desperately needs it.
Yeah, we need a turning point at the biggest part of the summer for sure for the entirety of the main roster women's division. Why NXT is blowing theirs out of the damn water. And again, if y'all didn't check out Battleground, go check out our coverage. Me, Walter, JJ, Zatilla post conversation. It was a great PLE. Congratulations again to Roxanne Perez overcoming the TNA Knockouts world champion. It is what it is, but she won fair and square. Although I do think she's going to get humbled sooner rather than later based on her attitude. All right. Well, that was probably the easiest. And again, I also just want to point this out. Predictability in professional wrestling is not a bad thing. Damn it. All right. But seriously, we do need to get a bit more excitement into the WWE women's division and their championships. Richard Mouse, good to see you again. And he also kind of has a point. Maybe this is the new way they're going to do their national PLEs. One women's title, respectfully. Because, yeah, can't agree with the ring. What you had defended was the Raw title. Becky launched to live. But we're going to see a title change here. And don't think so. And also, please remain hashtag spoiler free for NXT for those that watch in different time zones. Because, again, there are people that actually do watch that show in its entirety. I'm starting to. Not quite there, but starting to. The women, though, incredible stuff. Congrats to Kalani joining. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Emmanuel, you're on the button for this one, and I don't want anybody to shush, but I do wonder if we're going to say thank you to Otis versus Chad Gable, particularly. As we have the WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line as our favorite little Muppet, Sami Zayn. I wonder what happened to El Generico. I'm going to be still in contact with him. Goes one-on-one for the third time against Alpha Academy's Chad Gable. Bigger story here, beyond the title, is Otis. Are you going to be in his corner, and are you going to do the right thing? Since Sami Zayn beat Gunther at WrestleMania in a rocky-ass moment at WrestleMania 40 for the Intercontinental Championship, he has overcome Chad Gable and overcome Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. Once again, we find Chad Gable right back in the opportunity since one-on-one Montreal, where Sami Zayn beats him. This time, we have the added factor of Otis and the Alpha Academy support for their teacher. How far does a friendship go when it comes to your friend taking advantage of you versus supporting you? That's what Sami Zayn is trying to get through Otis' head. And for the last couple of weeks, we've seen teases, but he still got wiped out by him. I was, of course, at Raw last night, and literally Sami Zayn beat Otis in less than 25 seconds. But he still was on the end of a beatdown before Chad Gable was confronted by his friend, cowering him in the corner. I almost wonder if Chad Gable is pushing Otis to a breaking point, and is he going to regret it? But is that breaking point going to be Saturday or afterwards? Emmanuel, it's on you. Do you see a brand new Intercontinental Champion?
No, I don't. It's going to be Sami Zayn continuing to be IC champion. For most of these matches is pretty predictable. I feel like Otis might cost Chad Gable the championship, and that's how you make Otis versus Chad in Money in the Bank. That's when Chad wins against Otis. And then because the new Alpha Academy will appear, making it the old Alpha Academy versus the new Alpha Academy in SummerSlam. But maybe I'm overthinking about it. Maybe that's not really in WWE plans. Maybe that's not a SummerSlam worthy match. But that's what I see in the future, the possibility matchup. But Sami Zayn is going to keep on reigning and keep defending it. I'm not sure who he might lose it to. Maybe a Braun Breaker on SummerSlam. That's the biggest possibility right now of the whole Raw roster right now. But it's getting there, so it's going to be intriguing what we're going to see in SummerSlam.
Fair enough. JJ, he did talk about Alpha Academy maybe going through changes, and we have seen Chad Gable engage with the Creeper. We haven't seen him engage with Ivy Nile, but we also haven't seen Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree, of course, have a fallout as a tag team yet. And Maxine, yes, I guess is injured, so maybe they are prolonging that. But it almost feels like, again, for this title, is the Intercontinental Championship kind of in a limbo because of how long this storyline's been going on with Chad Gable? And are we setting up maybe Chad Gable versus Otis versus a new Alpha Academy versus the old Alpha Academy? And is the Intercontinental title just a setup to a different storyline at this point? Do you think something gets finally on Saturday, or do we get maybe finally the aftermath of Alpha Academy's implosion posts maybe on Monday Night Raw? What's your take on this?
The $1 million question is, has Chad Gable resigned or not?
I have not seen an official WWE press release, so until I see that, I am not going to confirm nor deny it.
I know. I'm just saying that's the $1 million question here, though, because if Chad Gable has resigned, it's now or never.
Accurate.
If he hasn't resigned, there's no point in giving him the title. Because you don't want to give him the title, then have him leave. But I think if he's resigned, pull the trigger, man. It's not going to happen otherwise. It has to happen now. And I think the key in all this is Otis. You know? Because, and I hate to say it about the big man, but if he's not with Chad Gable, he's in catering. I know he wasn't with Gable originally. I know he had the storyline with Mandy Rose, even though that was before I started watching. I know about him and Tucker or whatever, but like, Otis needs somebody. WWE has moved too far away from the goofy gimmick. You know, you're too cool doing the worm and big Rikishi dancing for him to stay relevant as a singles full time without being a monster heel.
Right.
The only way you get him to be a monster heel is you have him just lay Sami out, getting Chad Gable the title, and whether he sticks with Chad at that point or not, you've solidified Otis as this monster heel. And then you can see him as a singles. But the way Otis is right now, he's nothing without Gable.
He kind of said that in that backstage segment, which I did see, and I did see the private note. I did not see that backstage segment because, believe it or not, when you're at live WWE TV shows, you don't get everything that happens backstage. So thank you for that note. But so you're saying
I'm gonna say that Gable actually does it here.
Wow.
Because if he doesn't, what the hell are we doing?
Never ending story, which I didn't have to sing, thankfully.
Just wait for the next 80s night.
Oh, you evil.
And I'm in the process of making my 90s playlist.
Damn it.
Getting ready for that. But we have a beach party first. So
right, the cheap one.
Get dust off your Beach Boys classics.
Yeah, right. For me, freaking sandals and a freaking never mind. Anyway,
Natalie has Sami to retain.
Oh, okay. I like this.
But I'm going for a new champion. Like I said, I think it's now or never with Gable. If he doesn't get it now, he's never going to get it.
I'm just going to say this before I give it to Chris. Many stories fall to a hat trick. And usually your third act is your finale. And sometimes third time's the charm. I have been on Chad Gable's case to be a singles champion for the longest time since he competed in 205 Live. All right? This guy has everything going for him to be as successful as Kurt Angle, to the point they are saying you suck during his music. With the Otis storyline in play, and the fact that Otis believes even he is nothing without Chad Gable, I think that's how you segue to him becoming a babyface in a way and really push things out further. Instead of Sami Zayn with the title, Chad with the title, and Chad versus Otis before the ultimate fallout of the brand new Alpha Academy. That's more the way my mind's thinking. But I do agree right now, if Otis is not involved with Chad Gable, at least in some capacity, in this turn to babyface, he is on his way to speed or catering. So for now, I have to agree with you, JJ. I think it's finally time we see Chad Gable rise for the ranks and hold a prize. I think Chad Gable gets it done in Saturday. I'm going with a new champion. Chris, you round this one out. Where do you stand in all this?
Well, right now it's 2 for Chad Gable and 1 for Sami Zayn. I'm going to tell you,
Sami Zayn botched. Emmanuel
okay,
said Sami
sorry
Zayn,
about
so
that.
You're the tiebreaker. It's all right, brother. I got you, but still.
I feel this is going to be match of the night on Saturday between Sami and Chad Gable. I just have a gut feeling it's going to be match of the night, and everybody's going to be talking about the Intercontinental title match that we saw. But overall, this is my booking for this match. Who I have is right now, I could change up till Saturday.
Correct.
Right now, I got Sami Zayn to retain. And here's why I think Sami needs to retain. With the whole entire thing with Chad Gable, did he sign a new contract? Did he didn't? If he did sign a new contract, then do you give him the title on his new contract or just wait it out? I would just wait it out if he did sign a new contract. And then I do see Chad Gable being Intercontinental Championship down the road with the new Alpha Academy with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. That is how I think Chad Gable will be Intercontinental Championship by the help of the Creed brothers. Does Ivy Nile go with the Creed brothers and Chad Gable? I don't really know. Personally, to me, I would love for Ivy Nile to be a part of that group and see what they could do. But I just feel this match on Saturday is giving me the vibes of what I saw with Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble last year in 2023. It's giving me this type of vibe. Everything's going to happen at the end of the match. Sami's going to retain, and then Chad Gable's going to be upset with Otis, Alpha Academy, and I think after the match, Otis is finally going to turn on Chad Gable. He could go being a babyface. Maxine Dupree, Akira Tozawa could get themselves away from Chad Gable once and for all. So I have Sami Zayn retaining, and who I believe is worthy of dethroning Sami Zayn and being Intercontinental Champion. I don't think Braun Breaker is that choice right now. I'm giving it to Sheamus. I think Sheamus versus Sami Zayn maybe at Money in the Bank or maybe SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship and finally give Sheamus the Grand Slam champion that we all need. So I got Sami Zayn on Saturday.
While your booking goes further than the Milky Way for the Intercontinental Championship to try and get Sheamus the Grand Slam, which at this point I don't think is ever going to happen, despite the fact last week at Castle, Gunther and Sheamus had match tonight. Fight me to think otherwise. I respect your outlook that Otis getting that major pop going babyface internationally might be bigger than domestically, but the story's been built here primarily, which is why I don't think that's going to happen. But I respect your judgment. And again, folks, 4 will be live after the No DQ predictions panel in case Riff and his mad mind comes up with some crazy tiebreakers, including maybe an Otis turn tiebreaker. I have no idea yet. He has not reached out to me. And also, that being said, you will have up till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday to make your predictions final. Now, JJ, I did see your hand up for a moment before we move into our next match, which you'll be leading, by the way. But what's your last note regarding this match?
I just wanted to ask Chris. He said about waiting for Sami Zayn. or for Chad Gable to give him the title. Wait for what? Like, you need to give him this title. Chad Gable is more deserving of the title than fucking Sami Zayn.
He really is, to be fair. He's been finding
What are you waiting
title since day
for?
one.
Hell to freeze over? Pigs to fly?
We are in Scotland, to be fair. It's probably
You know, Otis to become 150-pound cruiserweight? Like, what are we waiting for? And on top of that, have you ever heard of a signing bonus? Like, if they got Gable to re-sign, here's your signing bonus. We're giving you the IC title.
You get a bigger purse when you're a champion.
So to Chris, please, what are we waiting for as far as Gable if he did re-sign? Why not just give it to him now?
Like, this is the thing here. If Chad Gable did re-sign,
quote unquote,
and there hasn't been like any press release, there hasn't been anything. So if Chad Gable did re-sign, I just don't think Chad Gable wins the Intercontinental Championship on this new contract. For right now, I feel in a way the Creed brothers should help Chad Gable become Intercontinental Championship instead of Alpha Academy. And I think down the road, Chad Gable will be Intercontinental Champion, but not right now.
So he's basically waiting for the Creed brothers and Ivy now to become the new Alpha Academy before Chad Gable becomes champion. Even then, I do wonder, is it going to matter at that point? Hit the iron when the iron's hot, Chris. It's all JJ's saying, but I understand what you're saying too. But how long do you prolong what feels like it should be inevitable is basically to conclude today's point. So JJ, thank you.
And what if they don't put the Creed brothers with Chad Gable? We know that's the obvious decision. We know that would be a great thing for Gable because of their similar styles and amateur backgrounds. But what if Triple H doesn't do it?
Triple H has a vision, and that vision could have a change based on other implications that even we don't know about. Sometimes the most obvious thing in WWE is actually not that obvious. Once in a blue moon in this company, they actually can surprise us. Yes, Emmanuel, I see your hand. You have a thought to share real quick. I do like the fact we do have more coming out of this match, though.
Yeah. Just a quick note, like for JJ to answer JJ's question. Like, how long did Drew McIntyre have to resign over and over again before he got the title in WrestleMania? Like, it was a couple months. So it makes logical sense to make maybe wait for it in that logical sense. But if he doesn't have the patience, he's gonna leave like Ricochet because there's no future outcome for him. Like there was no, like, he was never going to be World Heavyweight Champion or WWE Champion. That was never the end game for him. So it's one of those things. Like if he doesn't win, then it's never going to happen. He might as well leave the company and become champion elsewhere, maybe TNA, like somewhere that might utilize him better. But as of right now, it makes more sense for him to wait till maybe SummerSlam. I'm not sure.
It comes down to, I think, the value of your character in storylines on television, and I think also your work ethic to the company. To put no disrespect on Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre and Chad Gable are two totally different animals when it comes to contract negotiations. Just saying. And Drew McIntyre has given his time far more than Chad Gable. So again, it's a lot of unique contract talk where now we're not even thinking about Otis. We're thinking about a contract maybe being the difference here. But that just adds that suspension of disbelief that we think the Intercontinental Championship will change hands. So we'll see. Again, it's international. And the thing about these shows, the crowd dictates it. So no matter what, the crowd's going to be the biggest factor here that plays into the result. Not Otis, not a contract, not even Chad Gable. We'll find out soon enough. All right. Well, speaking of matches, speaking of outlook, speaking of things you do wonder that have a breaking point, and are we going to see somebody resign or quits. JJ, you're on the bubble for this one because, with all due respect to the WWE Championship, there's a reason why Drew McIntyre is the guy on the marquee for this show. So I figured I'd put them in the middle because Cody Rhodes defends the undisputed WWE Championship against the phenomenal AJ Styles. But this time, it is a match that doesn't end until you force your opponent to say, I quit. And of course, we know that AJ Styles gave us the Mark Henry retirement segment of 2024 in his light blue jacket, where he finally was going to give Cody the keys to the kingdom. He already has the keys to the kingdom. Duh. And he faked him out. He punked him out. He embarrassed him. So we got a brawl, and we got the match made official with the Nick Aldis thumbs up, of course. So here we stand. Speaking of other contracts, speaking of other futures unknown, speaking of other directions we don't know. JJ, take it away. Your thoughts on this match. Not just the result, but the aftermath. What you got going for the Undisputed WWE Championship?
Well, I'm going to pull a Chris here. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Cody Rhodes is the new John Cena. He's not going to say the words, I quit. Period. Cody retains. And my daughter agrees. Much to her chagrin, she's got Cody. As much as I love AJ, it's not going to happen.
Let's be honest here, family. This right here is the obvious match on the card. It truly is as simple as that. So I don't think any further thing needs to be explained or said. So unless, and I do mean you have to have a serious case of unless you think AJ, with maybe Good Brothers help or some Loch Ness folklore circumstance of Scotland, somehow allows him to have a Braveheart moment against the ruler of this kingdom, we're going to move on after I open the floor to see if anybody believes AJ is going to win. And this goes for the chat. Going once. Going twice. So, what the fuck, Emmanuel?
Just a quick note. I agree with Cody wins, but the only way he loses if the OC has a tape recorded message, just like Muck Foley. This is the Rock. He uttered the words "I quit" on that's the only way.
VAR. I don't know if that's a thing in Scotland like in Europe, but VAR. Do the recording thing for freaking soccer games or football, whatever the fuck they call it over there. VAR, you're out of line and you're wrong. We do not need that Alex Riley bullshit this Saturday. I've seen every I Quit match in WWF history with John Cena. And The Rock, for that matter. I do not need that shit.
But anyway. That's the only way he says I quit, so.
I agree.
With who?
With the manual. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah, and that'll be the biggest mistake in WWE history, especially in this era. Especially how much money they're putting into this. What is it, Chris? That's our manual's hot take. Jesus.
Well, I have a quick note. I do have the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes retaining the undisputed WWE champion on Saturday.
Right.
But afterwards, we got Money in the Bank after this, and it's going to be, okay, who does Cody Rhodes feud with for until we get to Money in the Bank, and then after Money in the Bank, we got SummerSlam. So who do you guys think is going to be Cody Rhodes' next challenger after Clash of the Castle on Saturday?
That's a fair question, actually, because I didn't think about that, because there really is no other direction right now as far as who's been in Cody Rhodes' crosshairs on SmackDown. I mean, my original take was with JJ, Randy Orton, but he got banged up by Gooper beyond belief. There's no telling when he's coming back. So, JJ, what's your thoughts on that? Who you think has Cody to face maybe as we head toward the biggest part of the summer? I honestly don't think the championship will be on the line at Money in the Bank. I think they'll build into it, though, from there to SummerSlam. But where the hell do you go from here? Damn it, Chris, you stumped us.
I'm going to go with Solo. We haven't gotten any more of the Cody bloodline feud. And if Roman is going to make a return come SummerSlam or in time for SummerSlam, then giving Solo the title shot might be the way to go.
Seems about the only other thing on there, honestly, now that I look at the roster. And if this Kevin Owens thing finally concludes, too, the way I think it's going to, I mean, I think at one point, didn't Solo say that they always had Cody on check or on law or something like that? To your point, I think they teased that subtly. And now that Paul Heyman's endorsing him as the head of the table, truly being that more comfortable, wise man with these savages, and the fact that somebody else from New Japan Pro Wrestling might be coming over pretty soon after what happened at Dominion, for those that follow New Japan Pro Wrestling like I do. I guess, but yeah, I mean, honestly, besides Solo, with Randy Orton banged up, and I bet that was the original plan too, what else do you do with the WWE Championship?
I mean, we also are going to have Cody on NXT tonight. So it's possible we could have some kind of inter-promotional thing come Money in the Bank. Heatwave is the next day.
Yes. That's after Money in the Bank, I believe, not before it.
Yeah. Money in the Bank is Saturday. Heatwave is the Sunday. And fuck my job making me having to work on Heatwave Sunday again. So I won't be there for that. But
damn.
Cody is going to be on NXT on the 9-year anniversary of Dusty's passing.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, I could see something there. Even if it's just a respect thing.
My brain just went with a little light. They're going to Canada for NXT and Money in the Bank, eh?
Yep.
Did they not just sign somebody with an all eagle that's from the Great White North?
Yep.
That wants
Did Cody also
spotlight?
tweet out about how he's interested about how his old friend is going to do against Trick? Yep.
I think we just figured out what they're going to do at Money in the Bank, or this would be extremely insane. Heat wave. I think we're getting Cody Rhodes versus All Eagle Ethan Page. Just caught in intuition. But now we move on. I did see Emmanuel's hand up for a second. Then we'll go back to Chris, and then we'll move on to this. But bottom line, Cody ain't losing AJ. Emmanuel, what's up?
No, you basically took my idea. Like I was about to say, Ethan Page. For some reason, it will make sense because the Cody's going down to NXT. That's a logical sense too. Like.
There you go. Chris, anything further to add regarding that note?
I just had an idea.
Uh-oh.
We're going to Canada for Money in the Bank.
Yes.
What if WWE does something crazy at Money in the Bank? We get Cody Rhodes defends the undisputed WWE Championship against a TNA star. What if he takes on the walking weapon, Josh Alexander?
Boy, you want something.
I would be lying, Noah, if I didn't say that the same thought didn't cross my mind.
The standard of TNA,
but it also could be the NXT thing, and we could get All Ego versus Alexander, Trick versus Alexander, but that means Alexander is going to have to job to Trick, and I love Trick.
Yeah.
But Josh Alexander ain't jobbing to Trick.
Josh Alexander's on a whole nother level. That Trick.
But Josh Alexander and Cody Rhodes.
Now that's
the American Nightmare versus the Canadian Walking Weapon.
Do it at Slammiversary.
Rematch a couple weeks later.
July, we got 3 shows in Canada in different parts. 2 in Toronto, 1 in Montreal. TNA, WWE. I'm just saying. But the Iron Man, the longest reigning TNA World Champion versus the American Nightmare, the current WWE Champion?
Yep.
Chris, if that happens, I swear you're on something. And I owe you a shirt. Okay, my brain just exploded. But then again, this PP, this prohibited portal, is already exploding at the seams with the fact that Io Sky, daughter of Stardom, just challenged Utami Hayashita, the Queen of Roses, former Queen's Quest leader, in Rose Ogawa's promotion in Japan, Marigold, where it's Queen versus Queen. What the hell is happening this year? Anyway, I'm getting a little bit excited now, but I'm going from Scotland, Japan, back to Canada. All right, back to Scotland. But that being said, Cody wins. I should have just did the thing I did at WrestleMania, but I probably would have just broke you. I'll be like, just have graphics of Cody pop up as I was told, like, Cody's winning. Anyway, shout out to Jeff Chadwick. I hope that he's doing well. Appreciate you, Brian, our fellow horseman. Of course, Mark Griffith. Hope you're doing well, guys. All right. Seriously, though, JJ didn't even get to do like a diatribe or discuss or anything. I felt like I kind of gave him the short end of the stick, so I'm going to give him that bitch. Go ahead and talk more about this, JJ, as we got 6 women, 2 from Scotland, challenging for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And based on what might be known, there may be a little more special this week than we think. It is Isla Dawn. I'm just going to say this real quick. Michael Cole, don't fuck this up. Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Zoey Stark and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is going to become a 4-time Women's Tag Team Champion. Put that in perspective. Of course, we saw Zoey Stark and Shayna Baszler take on the champions on Raw, but thanks to Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre, this unholy union, they interfered and that match got thrown out. And basically, they have given themselves this opportunity in their home country. Respect. Now, we did see what happened live on Raw. I was there live. I'm just going to say this. Shayna Baszler is pissed off. Okay, that's enough from me. JJ, the floor is on you regarding these women and these Women Tag Team Championships and what you hold Jade Cargill to as we now go into their 3rd holding defense of these titles. What do you guys say regarding this? I should.
Just saying.
I'm not gonna get him to go against that.
No. See. Here's the thing.
Hey.
Here's the thing. Here.
Yes, please.
The pregnancy thing. That rumor's been going around for a hot minute.
Right.
But Bianca just had a match a week ago, and did the majority of the match protecting Jade, who, much as I love her, is inferior in the ring to Bianca. We all know this.
Accurate.
Why would she be carrying that much load of the match if she was pregnant?
Correct me if I'm mistaken, JJ, but has Bianca been carrying the load for all their matches since they won the titles, even when they won the titles?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Jade's getting a little bit more time in there as opposed to just being, the hot tag at the finish.
Right.
They're at least getting, a few tags in and out. But Bianca's carrying the load. Why would she be carrying the load like that if she was pregnant? And you got to figure at this point she'd know if she was or not.
Right. I would hope.
You can't be doing that kind of physical, body damage, essentially, if you're carrying a developing child in your womb.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. It's not healthy for the baby.
No.
So, as much as I would hope that Bianca and Tez are pregnant, because I know how much their families want it and they want it after watching the series on Hulu, I don't think they're pregnant. Otherwise, she wouldn't be doing all that stuff.
Right.
That said, I got my girls to retain. If we knew that there was no question that Bianca was pregnant, I'd have the unholy union. I feel like they deserve it. They've been severely underutilized. And again, as I said at the top of the show, with what Alba's been doing since losing her mom and the dedication she's shown to the brand, that's the type of person that you want to reward with the championship. I'm not saying that Zoey doesn't deserve it, and I damn sure ain't saying that Shayna doesn't deserve it.
She deserves more than this.
But with
man.
everything that's been going on in Alba's life, even if it was just a short-term thing until Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, the reward there would mean a lot. Because again, you got to figure the winner's end of the purse. That helps with funeral expenses.
Mm-hmm. Sadly.
And Triple H is the type of guy that would look at something like that. Vince McMahon, I'm not going to sit here and razz on Vince the way some people would. I don't think he would take something like that into consideration, though.
No.
Triple H would.
Family versus business.
So, unfortunately, and I can't believe I'm using the word unfortunately when it comes to my girls, but my girls are retaining.
There's a reason I put them in between the proverbial what I think is going to be main event and the WWE Championship I Quit match, the two biggest championship matches on this card, for being perfectly honest. It's one of those things where, again, I want to see hope, development, true depth, passion, and real competition in this women's tag team scene. They really, I feel, have it there, but they haven't been able to fully execute it. I mean, hell, the only team that's been challenging lately for these titles is Amy Hartwell and freaking Candice LeRae on a freaking Karen Grievance stake with Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, respectfully. It's one of those things also with these two on the far left. Isla, Alba, Fyre were just drafted to Monday Night Raw, and this is their first technically second damn match since being drafted after losing to Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark in less than 5 minutes as Shayna choked her out. It feels like to me what this is again the identity of buffer fall person. It's just a matter of who's who, because here's another thing. Jade and Bianca are SmackDown. The other 4 are on Raw. So if nothing else, you have a tag feud that actually might give these 4 something to do, even if Shayna Baszler are stuck in tag team purgatory. Damn it. I think we're getting Isla, Alba, Fyre versus Zoey Stark and Shayna Baszler more on Monday Night Raw, but I think the champs are going to retain. And as far as who eats the fall, if you follow NXT, you know that Isla, Alba, Fyre can have a bit of witchcraft and black mist get involved. I hate to say it, but you remember what happened last time we had Clash of the Castle with Shayna Baszler, right? She lost. I think Shayna, unfortunately, is going to be the fall person. I expect a rant from Big G, because that's just the way they've been treating her lately. Seriously, they have not given Shayna any stock in main level WWE, and it's fucked up. But I see the champs retain, and Zoey Stark and Shayna Baszler are going to be the fall people. Maybe that was about the Sonya Deville thing too. Champs retaining.
I disagree with you, unfortunately. I feel like Alba and Isla are going to be the fall people. That way Shayna and Zoey stay strong.
Ah, fuck me.
You got to figure Shayna just lost to Lola Vice. Shayna needs a big victory, or at least to not get pinned, to maintain a little bit of equity.
I suppose you're right. But again,
and considering this is only the second time they've used Alba and Isla, for them to eat a pin while it being in their home country would suck for them. I feel like they can take that pinfall and it won't kill their direction. Whereas it would completely halt Shayna's momentum.
Being the newest thing on the scene, why Sonya Deville is looking to give Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark a different direction. I can get that too. I just fucking hate the fact that all 4 of these women, particularly 3 out of the 4, because I do hold more stock in Shayna Baszler and Isla Dawn, and I just hate where this stands for all of them, but it is what it is. All right. That being said, it's Jade and Bianca. Oh, and I imagine Natalie is Jade and Bianca.
Let me double check.
This would surprise me.
Yes, she said Bianca and Jade.
Okay. I hope she's doing well, by the way. All right, guys. Ball's in your court to try and add some other crazy dynamic with this man's mind. I wonder if he's even further down the line than Scotland. Chris, you're on the bubble. Your thoughts on this triple threat?
Keeping it short and sweet, Bianca and Jade are going to retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. Simple as that.
Well done. Emmanuel, anything further to say?
I mean, like the only reason why I brought that up right now, it's kind of too coincidental in a sense wise, because let's say like JJ's right, like let's say that she was never pregnant, and it makes sense. Like she's taking the most of the damage and most of the ring time, right?
Yeah.
But like, look what happened to Becky. She was wrestling and did not notice that she was pregnant until later on, and that's why she lost against Shayna Baszler. I mean, like Baszler lost to Becky Lynch during that match, and we were wondering why. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. But we were wondering why they didn't change it, because she didn't know. But what if, let's say, for hypothetically, the baby doesn't feel the damage until a couple of weeks more later on?
I don't know. I have nothing to say with this. I don't know nothing about women.
I mean, neither. I just speculating because it's kind of, like I said, it's a little bit too coincidental. Why protect Shayna and Zoey during that match? They were going to get defeated, but because of Alba, the unholy union alliance, yeah, like they cost the match, and they didn't seem so pissed about it. So it's like one of those things. Like we're like, this is the only way you can make Jade and Bianca not look bad, because they didn't take the fall. And like what's next for Jade and Bianca after this? Like what other tag teams do we have for them to face? They really don't have that many liable women, sadly.
Well,
like that's what. Yeah. Go ahead.
The key word is believable, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, believable. Yeah, women tag team champions who could be, Bianca and Jade, and this is the opportunity to do it without making them look bad. If let's say there's an injury angle during the match, maybe that's the an out for Bianca to take her time off, and that's when she's basically having her baby and not risking any more damage for her and her baby. So I have to go with you guys just in case that this is just
safe bet.
Yeah, total nonsense talk me. Because
I mean, you're trying to make this match be more than what it is on paper, but you also did give me another little thought, and that might play in the match just to make us a little bit more special belief. You guys been watching Shayna Baszler framing her knee lately, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You might want to watch that during this match if it comes.
Yeah, and right now, like that's just last night, you saw Shayna and Zoey go over on like the whole, Alba and
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, do you really want for them to lose again? Like I think Shayna sadly might take the fall. That's why they might have them Zoey and Sonya Deville working together, because maybe she has enough of Shayna's BS. Like this is not going anywhere. They've been trying to plant the seeds with that tag team, and that what's going on with Sonya.
Would be the first time Zoey Stark betrayed somebody. Hello, Trish Stratus. Thank you.
And so that's the only thoughts I could currently think of right now, like storyline wise. So
I mean, it would be great justice, because at the end of the day, and I didn't hear them say this last night on commentary, I don't know if they'll bring it up at the pay-per-view, because I don't know if, the double R wrestler is a naughty word on WWE programming, but let's not forget Ronda and Shayna took the titles from Alba and Isla to unify the NXT women's tag titles with the main roster women's tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
So if Alba and Isla could get a little bit of payback justice in their home country, that That would be a hell of a story, but I don't know if they'd risk saying Ronda's name on TV.
Yeah, I know they got a lot more leniency and freedom, but
I
even
mean, they
that,
could say, Shayna and her old partner defeated these two for the NXT titles to unify them, and then get around not saying her actual name, but
still though, long-term storytelling and that little story nugget, which I'm sure we'll have in our commentary because we are unfiltered, unrestricted. Damn it! And
I'll
it's
have
just
to
one of
wait
those
and see
things.
what happens on SmackDown if there's any forward movement that makes me want to change my pick.
Yeah, because again, we know that we're going to have a SmackDown in Glasgow, Scotland before this, and I guarantee you, all 6 of these women are going to go at it like Hellcats before they freaking face each other in this triple threat match for the titles. So there's got to be some sort of angle that comes from this, but I really want to believe that Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre have a chance to win these tag team championships. I really want to believe that. And with Shayna's knee, the long-term history you just mentioned there, and Bianca suspension of sleep, whatever you want to call it, and the fact that we have 4 people from this country right now, and so far we picked 1 to lose and maybe 2 others to lose. Somebody from this freaking nation has to get a win at this premium historic live event, right? I'm just saying. Maybe it's these 2. Who knows? All right. Well, that being said, we've had a lot of talk, discussion, some wild fantasy thought. Hope everybody's enjoyed the conversation so far. Please let us comment, tell a friend. But I think it's about time we get down to the real business at stake here. For it's time to what I believe is probably going to be the main event. Coming home. And once again, by the way, in the main event at Clash at the Castle. This time in Scotland. Scotland's own Drew McIntyre goes one-on-one against Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I want y'all to notice something, by the way, too. You notice the champions in the other graphics on the left side? Now, I just wonder if that's some foreshadowing. You tell me. Okay. Here we fucking go. Now, CM Punk. Drew McIntyre, of course, won this title back at WrestleMania 40, beating Seth freaking Rollins, who made this title what it was inaugurally. All the best, Tyler Black. Get well soon. We'll see you back and sing your tune, I'm sure, at some point. But the thing here is that same night, Senior Money in the Bank cashed in and became the face of WWE, representing his culture, his country, and Judgment Day. But he also said this title is not Judgment Day's title. It is my title. I do not need Judgment Day. Judgment Day needs me. He even gave Judgment Day a bone after that post-assault against Jey Uso in what was a very good match at Backlash. And it's taken the reins as its leader since Mommy is no longer there to keep law and order and encourage people to keep children in order too. Dirty dum-dum. But the thing here is, I think there is a Judgment Day for the Judgment Day sooner rather than later. They are falling apart the scenes. Everyone's got their own agenda, their own mindset. And we just saw Drew McIntyre make sure that Judgment Day will not be here at Clash of the Castle last night. They're barred after Drew McIntyre claimed Finn Balor's face. And we also know this title's future. On the other side, the biggest part of the summer, past Money in the Bank, Betting General Gunther has a match waiting for him for the World Heavyweight Championship. And if you all remember the last time that Drew McIntyre and Gunther went one-on-one, Gunther won over the Intercontinental Championship I saw live at SummerSlam. I don't want to say that Damian Priest being champion has been underwhelming versus others, but I think people are getting tired of this Judgment Day saga, and they might start be getting underwhelmed by this. I'm eliminating the CM Punk factor altogether. The last time we were here and Drew McIntyre was in the main event, we almost had a riot until Tyson Fury turned into a karaoke party. I do not want to see that same shit happen again. As much as I want to believe that Damian Priest has more to bring to this title run, Drew McIntyre is toying the line between babyface and heel. Gunther is 100% heel, but he's respected by everybody. I think Drew McIntyre, who, by the way, you want to talk about contracts, did he not just re-sign with WWE? I think Drew McIntyre actually wins it this time in his home country. If anybody from Scotland's going to win this PLE and make it as big and historic as it is for his first time ever in Glasgow, Scotland, I think Drew McIntyre becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I have a new champ, and we're getting Gooper versus Drew at SummerSlam. As far as Money in the Bank, maybe Damian Priest goes back-to-back years like the Radar Superstar Edge did for the Ultimate Opportunity, and this is the last falling point we see in Judgment Day, being in the same locker room. But I think Drew finally, once again, gets his moment in his home country and sticks it to CM Punk. Because until CM Punk's back, CM Punk's a non-factor as far as I'm concerned. I got Drew winning, and I really hope he comes out to Broken Dreams and ends with it too. JJ, what is your thoughts on the future of the World Heavyweight Championship and Judgment Day for that matter?
Well, I agree with you that we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. My daughter thinks that Priest is retaining. I think that Punk is going to get involved in this. But I don't think it's going to matter. I think that Punk is going to get involved. Drew's going to get his, comeuppance, take Punk out, and still be able to come out the champion. Because we've got to start building to Punk and Drew too. Even if Punk isn't 100% ready yet, doesn't mean he can't get involved and this be what sets him back a little bit so that we can finally get the big return at SummerSlam and push into whatever we're going to get post SummerSlam.
At Bash at Berlin.
But I agree, new champion has to happen. I agree. Please, God, give me Broken Dreams.
Yes! Freaking Death Rebel bullshit. All right.
Even if he doesn't come out to it, at least once he hits the 1, 2, 3, let that hit over the radio.
Yes, I think it should be his victory speech and theme because he would have made Broken Dreams come true in his home country.
You never hear the shot that takes you down.
And maybe we'll even do a karaoke version of it afterwards too. Who knows?
Hey, for $25, Noah will sing Broken Dreams during Clash at the Castle. I can just see Emmanuel right now texting Arlene. That's why we can't see his hands. He's letting her know. He's got his phone in hand.
Damn it! All right. Well, that being said, that's 2 for a new champion and 1 for somehow Damian Priest retaining. Chris, I'm going to go to you, Crisscross, next. Your thoughts on this match? Do you have a new World Heavyweight Champion?
Well, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most, and this is going to be banger after banger after banger after banger. I've been actually torn about this, and going back and forth, but after last night's Monday Night Raw, it kind of cleared my tornness apart, and I made my decision on who I was going to pick for the World title match. Right now, I got Damian Priest retaining the World Heavyweight Champion, and here's why.
Go for it.
I had to change up my shirting for tonight, and I had no DQ shirts on for every single panel video I'm on, but I have a Second City Saint shirt, and that is CM Punk. Tell me when I'm telling lies. He's getting involved. He's getting involved on Sunday. I'm not Sunday, Saturday.
Watch.
CM Punk is going to get involved, and he's going to cost Drew McIntyre the world title again, because here's the reason. Drew McIntyre, he had his moment at WrestleMania. He won the world championship in front of fans. And personally, Drew McIntyre, he should have left. He should have left after that and still be champion. But no, his ego got the best of him, and he had to score CM Punk once more. I do believe CM Punk is getting involved Saturday. And this is the thing. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, if it's going down at SummerSlam, it doesn't need to be for the championship. I would put CM Punk and Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam in Cleveland.
A little bit soon to call your shot there with that structure, but I could see the hell breaking loose.
And Damian Priest and Gunther for the War Heavyweight Championship makes sense. And this is the thing. I don't want to see Drew versus Gunther again at SummerSlam back-to-back years. I don't want to see it happen again. It's better that we get CM Punk, Drew McIntyre without the championship involved, and we get Damian Priest, Gunther for the War Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam in Cleveland. So I got Damian Priest retaining Saturday, and what goes down with Judgment Day after that, maybe what I saw in the locker room, Demon Finn Balor. I just have a gut feeling we might be having Finn Balor win Money in the Bank this year. And maybe SummerSlam, maybe that could be a culmination that Finn Balor might become the new world champion at SummerSlam.
I mean, last year Finn Balor challenged Seth at SummerSlam, third time, and he lost. You're talking about matches you don't want to see again, or moments maybe. But again, I understand where you're coming from with the value of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre not needing a championship. I can kind of get behind that because of how personal it's gotten with these social media trolling shenanigans. But wild circumstance aside, you're not going to get Hell in a Cell first time out that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have a fight. WWE doesn't do that.
That's a Tony Khan booking decision.
Not necessarily, but I could see that being quicker in AEW than in WWE. But that being said, I do see your hand, as he did pick Damian Priest to win.
Damian Priest versus Gunther doesn't sell tickets. Sorry. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre sells tickets.
It does. I guess I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I was there last year live at SummerSlam, and Drew McIntyre and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship was one of my favorite matches of the night. Versus Seth freaking Rollins and Finn Balor, versus Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, versus freaking Ricochet and Logan Paul.
This is going to be in your home state. You're debating about going, you're on the button, sir. Would you pay money? Would you pay money to go see Damian Priest versus Gunther, or would you pay money to go see Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Because I believe Gunther should be the man that makes WWE sacred and be the damn world champion. You're damn right I want Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. One man achieves broken dreams in Scotland. The other one makes WWE sacred at the biggest part of the summer before heading to his home country at Bash at Berlin. Imagine Gunther going into that as the freaking champion. He doesn't need a challenge for it. He already has the challenge made for him. For Pete's sake, give this man the WWE. Damn it. Freaking workhorse of the company. But yeah, Drew McIntyre and Gunther for me is far more engaging than Gunther versus Damian Priest. Because at the end of the day, Gunther is heel, Priest is heel. Heel and heel on the grandest stages. So yeah,
the fans have spoken.
Damn right.
And we all know you got to give the people what they want.
Damn it. So yeah. All right. Well, that being said, it is 2-2 as we go to Emmanuel to close things out. So, Emmanuel, what's your thoughts on the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre? Broken dreams or a shattered vision?
Well, I admire Chris, input. I mean, like, I do agree with him with some of the points, but I do think there's going to be a new World Heavyweight Champion on Drew McIntyre. The reason why, like, you can't have the man lose 2 times in the Clash of the Castle.
In the main event, probably too, by the way. If he's in the main event again at this show and lose, and this time in his home country, you're going to wish everybody was drunk on Guinness that night.
Yeah, exactly. And then no karaoke is going to save that crowd.
I don't see Tyson Fury. I don't see Tyson Fury being at the show. I don't.
One thing that will make Chris happy, a possible triple threat match. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the title.
That I could actually buy into at Bash to Berlin if CM Punk is cleared enough, honestly.
Yeah, if he's clear on time, and that'll be giving enough good reason why Punk, like JJ brought earlier up, CM Punk tries to interfere to cost him the match, but it doesn't succeed. And what's going to happen when they see Punk? They go boo his ass off like no other and become a heel. And that makes Drew an automatic babyface, even though that's not the direction we want, because you know how Drew is. Drew is a net more better heel than the babyface, but in my opinion. But for me, that's the more better, compelling main event for SummerSlam, to have a triple threat with them 3 if Punk is cleared by the time SummerSlam hits. It looks like he is, like, to be honest, like, because he's been appearing on Battleground with Roxanne Perez. He looks ready, just waiting for the okay that he's ready for the in-ring return and everything like that.
Right.
So it makes sense storyline wise to start a rivalry, but they both get distracted. That's how you have Gunther win the title in SummerSlam, because Drew is so obsessed about beating up CM Punk into a pole, and Punk is to concentrate beating up Drew, and Gunther's gonna enjoy it because he's not focusing on that. He's focusing on the title. So that makes him
39 all over again.
Yeah, he makes it like the brilliant one, because he has one man goal, just the title.
Right. All right. Well, there you go. He picked Drew McIntyre. And also consider Money in the Bank. We're talking about Gunther. His running mate, Ludwig Kaiser, seems to really try to come into his own as well. I would love to see Ludwig Kaiser come to the light. And I would love to see one point Ludwig Kaiser versus Gunther down the line. As Ludwig has made intention known, he wants to be part of Money in the Bank. And it sounds like he and Sheamus might be on their way to another banger. That might be our qualifier with those two. I'd be all for that, by the way. So it's one of those things right now where you look at the outlook of the championship going forward. There's more with Drew McIntyre holding it right now than Damian Priest, because all Damian Priest has done up to this point is judge at Drew McIntyre. Gunther, he has not had to be involved in this at all. And he already has history with Drew McIntyre again. So Intercontinental Championship last year versus World Heavyweight Championship this year. Sounds like a very fun match to me. Sounds like long-term storytelling. Sounds like long overdue opportunity for the Ring General to get his crown that he is actually going to wear around his waist, not his head. So I'm all for it. And the CM Punk factor, I think you might just book the triple threat for Bash at Berlin versus SummerSlam, because as we know, Gunther has a contractually obligated opportunity at SummerSlam for the title. And as far as I'm concerned, that should be one-on-one. So that's my take on that. But I see your hand, Emmanuel.
Yeah, like a quick note. Yeah, like not sure how, like, if Rhea Ripley is actually injured. We have to remember that too. If she's not injured, then she's coming back in SummerSlam as well.
If Mommy comes back before SummerSlam and confronts Judgment Day with Damian Priest losing the title, Dom cheating with a felon, and Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Carlito haven't done jack shit, all hell's gonna break loose that they wish they didn't see that brutality.
Yeah, exactly. And who to say that Dominic, like, let's say that Angle is gonna be Liv having slept with Dominic, but Dominic, that's the angle they're going with the hotel key. No, like, I'm not sure if you saw that in like last night.
Oh, I did. I saw it bright and clear on the Titantrons that were sitting right behind me as you're bringing GTV back to life in 2024. Jesus Christ, this is not PG.
But guess who stole the room key? Finn Balor. Finn Balor has the key. So Liv Morgan thinking like, I slept with Dom. Maybe it's Finn and Liv collusion all this time, because there was a video clip of Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, and I forget who else saying, we need to bring down the Judgment Day.
Finn Balor was the original leader, and arguably you would say Damian Priest has kind of tried to take it over for himself. And again, I forget Judgment Day is coming to Judgment Day. So maybe what JD thought a while ago about Dom being the mastermind for his own Judgment Day might be a different person within it that we didn't think about until this moment. But it sounds like, to me, if nothing else, we think Judgment Day is going to go for a massive change prior to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And the seeds for it could literally be planted this Saturday if this is in the main event spot. Now, before we conclude, I do want to put this out here because I'm sure people are going to be like, well, what if it's not the main event? Are you still going to say the same thing? Drew McIntyre is the guy in the damn marquee. Why would he not be the main event for this show? I'm just saying. What else main events this show? Seriously.
Yeah.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Either way, it's Drew McIntyre's time. And we'll see a whole different landscape change, I feel, in WWE with Judgment Day, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Gunther through the biggest party of the summer before we head over to Berlin. Simple as that.
Yeah. If this was any other PLE in any other location, AJ Styles and Cody would be the main event because it's an I Quit match.
Why not?
That's the only other match that could even potentially main event because of the I Quit stakes. But Drew has to be the main event. This was the first match announced. We've known I see I'm glitching there.
You're good.
This has been the one that was announced the longest. We've been building based on this match. It has to be the main event.
Yeah, there's no argument. There's just no argument. Well, that being said, I think that's a nice way to conclude this simple discussion of City Predicting, the first one of this week. So thank everybody for tuning in. What's your thoughts, your outlooks, your takes? Are you excited to see what happens in Scotland? Do you believe it's going to be a new champ? Do you somebody else shows up? Maybe Gallus. Maybe Joe Hendry if we say his name if we're lucky. Who else might show up from Scotland that's famous in and out of professional wrestling? Only time will tell. Maybe we'll get a new signing or a prospect from Scotland, part of Nil or some sort of thing that might arrive in NXT. What the prohibited portal continues to unfold. Maybe we'll get some Pro Wrestling Eve or some other wrestling outlook here. There has to be some massive things going down here with the fact they're giving us a 2-hour kickoff. Because again, folks, this show does not start till 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a 2-hour kickoff prior noon Eastern Standard Time. Everybody, you're fucking insane. But we're not insane because we're done under the 9-minute mark. So nice job, everybody. So thank you all for tuning in. We will see you Thursday for City Predicting as we predict TNA against all odds. So we're going to keep it short, sweet, and simple here. I'm sure JJ will be joining me for that. Emmanuel, if you want to join in for that, you're welcome to. But I don't think you know much of TNA, so I'll let you do your plugs too. But that being said, Chris, I always talk about you, my price for passions. You know what I think about that, and I know all your time is. So chances are you may not be there for it, but I know I'll give you the forum. Always a pleasure, my friend. So till next time, why don't you go ahead and promote your stuff? Appreciate you.
Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Well, everybody, I want to thank all you guys for allowing me to be on tonight for simply predicting WWE Clash of the Castle. I had fun. Where you guys can find me at is on my X account, CROTS24. My Insta, CMROTC_6472. And my Facebook is Christopher Rots. Hit me up on all those social media tabs. I had night. The next time you'll get us is on Thursday for simply predicting TNA against all odds. And then we got Father's Day weekend. I'll be going to AEW Collision this coming Saturday from Youngstown, Ohio, on the 1-year anniversary of AEW Collision. I'll be seeing Christian Cage on Saturday. I'll be seeing the House of Black Saturday. I'll be seeing Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo.
I don't like you for that.
On Saturday. So I can't wait for that. Until next time. And then also, we're not done with simply predicting this month, because after that, after we get done with Against All Odds, we got AEW Forbidden Door.
Damn it.
And that is going to be where we're going to see Swerve Strickland defend the AEW World Championship against Will Ospreay. So look out for the dates and time for simply predicting AEW Forbidden Door. I had a good time tonight. Got to get going. Gonna finish watching NXT. Hope you guys enjoy your rest of the week and enjoy Clash of the Castle on Saturday.
Appreciate you, Chris. We'll see you around. And again, folks, we'll be back Thursday again, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, discuss TNA Against All Odds. But of course, No DQ will, of course, have their predictions 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Thursday. Dwayne Atkinson said he'll be there. Looks like Dre will be joining us as well. And hey, I got a sponsor, I got a promoter. That's fine by me. It means I have to talk less. Dwayne, I look forward to seeing you for TNA Against All Odds. So if you can't stop by, please do. Emmanuel, I look forward to seeing you dip your toes in TNA Simply Predicting, as it sounds like you'll be part of the Shenanigans Thursday. Yeah. JJ, I know you'll be there Thursday unless something changes. And of course, you and I will also be on the call this Saturday. So I think with that being said, we'll everybody have fine to do. Thank you all for tuning in again for the first Simply Predicting. Yes, Emmanuel?
One last question before we go. Where do you see Joe Hendry appearing if he does appear on Clash of the Castle?
Backstage segment.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be almost like a funny setup.
It has to. True.
You know, I could see somebody in the ring cutting a promo. And I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn even pointed it out when they were tag champs. You know, how if you say somebody's name multiple times, then they end up showing up.
Yeah.
So I could see somebody cutting a promo and then kind of the joke like that being made on commentary. You know, they got to be careful. If you say somebody's name too many times, say his name and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Like I could see that being the setup.
I'm gonna lose my shit if Joe Hendry shows up at Clash of the Castle. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh Lord.
The key though is the flight.
Yes.
He's got to get from Chicago Against All Odds Friday night to Scotland Saturday, and they're still doing the TV tapings on Saturday in Chicago.
That's right. Right now he's not booked
so
for Chicago.
It would almost have to be a via satellite thing if they do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, I'll take whatever. Keep tease a prohibited portal. You got Io Sky going to Marigold. You had TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace against Roxanne Perez. Now just have Joe Hendry insult somebody in WWE for his lyrical brilliance. I'm all for it.
I'm just mad they got rid of Elias, because Joe Hendry Elias would have been a hilarious gimmick to run
Oh my God, that'd be the dream segment for me. I swear, and everything pure. I want Elias to show up in TNA now just because of that. With that being said, we'll show up again, folks, Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in. On behalf of JJ Williams, Emmanuel, we'll be back here Thursday with some other friends to discuss TNA against all odds. So until then, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy NXT. And as always, I'd like to leave you. While Chris is my promoter, I'm the guy that's only here to encourage you to make a positive impact in life. And have a good night. We'll see you later this week for another edition of City Predicting TNA. Have a good night, folks. And always believe in Joe Hendry. I had to say the name. You know I had to say the name. Come on now. It's Joe Hendry. Yeah. Man, Joe Hendry for TNA World Champion.